Welcome back. It is 7:22. This is always a lot of fun. We do this once or twice a year. We go over to Camp Mabry, give you a look at some of the old equipment they've got from World War II. And some of this stuff works, as you are going to find out right now. Our good buddy Jeff Hunt from the Texas Military Forces Museum is going to give us a little tour. Jeff, good to see you.
Good to see you, Joe. How are you this morning?
Or Captain Hunt. I'll call you Captain Hunt this time.
All right.
All right, what do we got going this weekend?
Well, this weekend the museum is running its Close Assault 1944 Living History program. It's our tribute to the Texas veterans of the Second World War, the men and women who are wearing the uniform today. And folks are going to be able to come out for free and see some of the most famous vehicles and weapons that were used by American and German troops in the European theater of World War II.
Now, when you use the term close assault, is that exactly what it means?
That's exactly what it means. You know, as sooner or later, the job of the infantryman is to take and to hold ground. And basically, you've got to close with the enemy. You've got to take his position. And so when we talk about close assault, that's a very literal thing. And so we'll be demonstrating a lot of the weapons and the vehicles, but the culmination of each hour-long program is going to be an actual attack by infantry, tanks, half-tracks on a German-held strongpoint.
How much working equipment have you got over there at the camp?
I'm sorry, say that again, Joe?
How much working equipment do you have over there?
We actually have a great deal of working equipment. We have a handful of Jeeps. We have a World War II half-track. We have a working Sherman tank, a working German self-propelled gun. And that's just the World War II stuff. We've got a lot of working, Cold War equipment as well.
Now, I was told you're going to demonstrate a couple of these things, correct?
Yes.
All right. Let's see what we got.
Okay, what we're going to do first is demonstrate the M1 Garand. This was the standard shoulder arm of the American soldier in World War II in Korea. It's a semi-automatic weapon, 30-06, and we're going to let her rip. Ooh. And next, Joe, we're going to show you one of your favorites. This is the Thompson submachine gun.
Oh, boy.
She's having a little trouble this morning.
Well, it works, though.
Yeah, it works, and usually she'll crank out full automatic there. You get a little bit of an idea. We sometimes have trouble with the old weapons because, you know, they're not used to shooting blanks. They prefer to shoot real rounds.
Hey, Jeff.
We try not to do that out here for obvious reasons.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Hey. I'm old, too. Sometimes I don't work so well either. That one's pretty cool, though. That's pretty loud.
That's pretty cool. Of course, the weapons are, the actual weapons from World War II. The vehicles are actual weapons from World War II. We'll have about 30 troops out here. We do 2 shows on Saturday. We do 2 shows on Sunday at 11 and 2 o'clock. We'll have concessions and souvenirs out here. And, of course, the museum, all 45,000 square feet of it is open, and it's all free to the public.
All right, we're going to ship everybody over there. Jeff Hunt, always good to talk to you, Jeff.
Good to see you, Joe.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Scott. Guns, tanks, and the German Army. It's all part of this year's Veterans Day celebration out at Camp Mabry.
Yeah, hundreds of people got an up-close look at a live reenactment of a World War II battle. Fox 7's Foti Kalergis was there, and he's now in the studio with the story. Foti, how was it?
Well, James, it was amazing. The show was called Close Assault, an inside look at the 36th Texas Army Infantry Division. The time, September 1943. The setting, an old German village. And the actors you see right here used real guns from that era with fake rounds. The reenactment showed the crowd how the Texas Army maneuvered to overcome the German Army. In between the 2 shows today, visitors got an up-close look at several tents. This one that you see here, the Central Command tent, where all the orders were received and given. Now next to it, you see here the medic tent on display, scalpels, medical scissors, and supplies that were actually used back then. Now for some, the World War II flashback was a chance to remember their loved ones.
But it's good to see that people still remember these men that did so much for our country. It's unbelievable what they did and what they lived through and the conditions that they had.
Sheila Bartholomew there says that her father served during World War II. She shared some pictures with some other veterans at Camp Mabry. And James, we're going to have her story coming up tonight at 9.
Thank you. Looking flat. A World War II battle came to life today, complete with tanks, guns, and authentic live action. It's all part of a Veterans Day celebration out at Camp Mabry. Fox 7's Poteet Kalergis was there, and he's here now with the story. Poteet.
Well, James, the reenactment was as real as they come. The guns, even the uniforms that these actors used were from the World War I, World War II era, and some say it even helped them understand what their loved ones fought through. The gunfire could be heard across Camp Mabry. On the front lines, the 36th Texas Infantry Division, about a dozen of them closing in on an old German village where the enemy is holding their ground until a U.S. tank rumbles into town and the Germans surrender. The battle was an act, a show to honor Texas soldiers on the weekend before Veterans Day.
But it's good to see that people still remember these men that did so much for our country.
One of those men, Sheila Bartholomew's father, Ray Swindle, a Purple Heart recipient who fought in World War II with the 555th Tank Battalion.
We've got a lot of pictures.
Sunday afternoon, Sheila and her two daughters shared several pictures from the war with the actors. This one shows their hero behind a Nazi flag, a declaration of defeat. This next photo shows a massive surrender, the German army with their hands up.
The guys that are identifying with this, they can tell me what country they're in. You know, they pick those pictures up and say, oh, this was made in Africa. Your dad was in Africa, or this was Italy.
Sheila says the reenactment gave her an up-close look at what her father may have endured in the war.
This is where the orders come from. This is our headquarters town.
The Veterans Day event also gave patriots a real-life look inside a World War II Army camp. This is a communications command tent, equipped with a radio and typewriter that were actually used in the war. Next door,
99% of what you see in this tent is all original equipment.
A World War II medic tent was set up. Scalpels, surgical scissors, and other equipment were laid out, ready for an injured soldier. But all of them Sunday played it safe, using fake rounds to portray a very real battle.
It makes me very appreciative of everything, the country we live in and of what I have and how we are and who we are.
A message 3 generations and counting. A message they say must never be forgotten. And the 2008 Veterans Day Parade in Austin is happening on Tuesday morning and will be followed by a memorial ceremony on the south steps of the state capitol. For more information, you can log on to our website, jamesmyfoxaustin.com.
Very nice story. Happy the woman got to learn more about her grandfather's struggles.
Lucky she had those pictures with her, too.
Very good. Thank you, Poteet.
Tuesday is Veterans Day, and this weekend, crowds at Camp Mabry honored American troops by reliving a piece of history. The Night Beat's Quita Culpepper takes us to a World War II reenactment.
This weekend, the mission at Camp Mabry is simple.
To commemorate the soldiers who served and many of the ones who have died in combat.
Dozens of history buffs donned the military gear of days gone by and took a trip back in time. The war reenactment at Camp Mabry is called Close Assault 1944. It's a recreation of an attack on a German strongpoint and a chance to demonstrate what hardships soldiers went through during World War II and show the firepower they had at their disposal. David Robertson brought his young sons and his father, a veteran himself, to watch as history comes alive. For this family, World War II holds special meaning.
Their great-grandfather, who's still alive, fought in this war, and I'm telling them all about how they, how he slept in these tents and rode on these tanks and all that sort of stuff. So I think I can put it in context for them.
The volunteers who put together this show say the world owes a huge debt of gratitude to the brave soldiers from the greatest generation.
We'd like to just do a little bit to show what these men do to help preserve our freedom and our what we enjoy every day and take for granted.
Quita Culpepper, KVUE News.
Generations have passed since Clay Brown's grandfather served in World War II, but Sunday, Clay got to see firsthand what it could have been like.
It's pretty interesting thinking about them.
Clay's dad also served in the military. He says he's happy his son is interested in learning about the history behind the battles, but cautious about Clay's future.
For him, it's fun things. When it comes to being older, making a decision to actually serve and put your life at risk for something, that's another decision.
We're trying to do the same tactics they did then. We're trying to do the same thing. Again, we have it so much easier, of course, because no one really is firing at us. But we really appreciate their sacrifice, and that's what we're trying to show.
This living history reenactment honors the 36th Infantry Division during World War II. Original equipment and a recreation of an attack play out before people looking to learn a little more about the past.
That's one reason why we do this, is we love our country. We understand freedom is not free, and that, you know, it's the people who will shoulder the rifle and will go out and fight for our freedom and keep us free. That's why we have it.
Can we pick up those ones?
And for Clay Brown, it's a chance to take part in history, hoping to someday play a similar part.
I want to go in the Air Force.
Corinna Kling, News 8 Austin.